All right. Welcome everyone. This is our Columbus Sitecore User Group June 25 session. We have today our veteran Sitecore MVP, Amit Kumar. Um, Amit is well known to the Sitecore community, and he contributes a lot on Sitecore and helps other people and the community. Amit is located in UK, and I'll let him introduce himself. Amit is going to present Sitecore XM Cloud Embedded Personalization. Amit, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Maulik, and thank you, Madhri, and everyone who have joined the call. So the today's session is on the Sitecore XM Cloud Embedded Personalization. So I will be explaining about what are the things coming out of the box which you can utilize to start your uh, personalization journey on the XM Cloud. So agenda seems to be very heavy, but I will try to wrap up within a time period. So I will be just touching upon the XM Cloud. So because we are talking about the embedded personalization, what is coming out of the box, then I thought that it's good to touch upon the Sitecore XM Cloud. Then I will be giving information on the embedded personalization, what are the key features are there, and what is in session and the session based personalization, what are the technical aspects involved in the XM Cloud, and what are the features are there. And then I will be showing you the some rules also which are coming as a out of the box in demo. So this is about me. So you can scan the QR code and connect with me. So I am myself Amit, and I am having around 20 plus years of experience, and I am working with the Avanade, which is a joint venture of Microsoft and Accenture. And I am a 7 times Sitecore MVP, mostly working on the .NET tech stack. So now moving to the Sitecore XM Cloud. So as you are aware about that, Sitecore XM Cloud is a cloud native SaaS CMS. So where the content delivery will be happening via the GraphQL endpoints, and it is a experience manager. So if you have worked with the Sitecore earlier version on on-prem or IaaS, so you will be getting a two types of topologies. You can say that the one is the Sitecore XP and the XM. XP is that you will be getting a complete digital marketing suite in the Sitecore experience platform, and experience manager is that you will be getting a content management functionality plus in session capabilities of the Sitecore product, where you can implement a in session personalization, like user is coming uh, from as any URLs, or user is coming some geolocation. So those type of things were there, and those are included also, and it is coming with the Sitecore headless experience accelerator. Why it is a headless experience accelerator is that you will be getting a multi-site management, and you will be getting a partial design, page design, and some feature of a sitemap which will be coming out of the box, so that you can easily manage the content in a multi-tenant environment. And with the help of XM Cloud, you can implement the omni-channel experiences, and you will be getting a this Next.js SDK, as well as Angular, Vue, and React, and also the .NET Core is there, so you can utilize those. And also it's a Jamstack ready, right? And embedded personalization, which I am going to cover. And content will be coming from the GraphQL. So why the content is from the GraphQL? Because there will be no content delivery role will be there, or a box or a server will be there, because your content will be publishing from your CMS to the experience edge. Those are the CDN enabled endpoints, and all the page snapshot, as well as the your component details, everything will be pushed there. But the limitation is that you can upload the images up to 50 MB. So that is the major limitation is there. Inbuilt component library, like you will be getting a front end as a component, you can build your own component there and utilize it. And advanced pages editor is coming. It's advanced version of experience editor, which will allow you to set up the page, create the content, and implement the personalization. Faster development and the deployment, because Sitecore is also providing you the foundation head GitHub repository, which you can take as a reference and start your development, including the vertical demo is there, which is having a you can say that the good amount of component which is generally required within a website. And also you will be getting a connector to connect with the GitHub, so you can deploy to CMS as well as to your preferred uh, uh, hosting provider like a Vercel is there. So you will be getting a connector to that. So you will check in the code and automatically it will deploy there. So those connectivities are there. So you do not need to do that. But if you are going with the Azure DevOps, so you need to implement your own CI/CD pipeline for that. Customer portal like a cloud portal is there. So you can manage the access. SSO is there. So you can enable the SSO so that if anyone trying to log in with the organization credentials, they can use that. Easy site management, as I explained, like you will be getting a headless XXA, so you can easily manage the multi-tenant, multi-site architecture. In build insights, you will be getting a out of the box tracking of your pages, how your pages are performing. Those things are there, so you do not need to implement it. If you don't want to go with the Google Analytics, you can utilize this also. And inbuilt forms are there, so there are the separate form app is there, so you can build up your multi steps forms also, and also the error handling and when you will be submitting it, where you need to redirect it. And one thing you need to consider is that when you are submitting the form, it is different from the Sitecore form. Why? Because Sitecore form is dependent on the XDB. When you are submitting the Sitecore form, the data we used to store in the XDB, but here it's a SaaS product, so there your data is not going to be stored in the Sitecore XMCM. There will be a webhook is there, so you need to add your custom endpoint where you want to submit the data, and after that you can redact also. So you need to take care of the form data submission. So now moving to the embedded personalization. So as I was explaining, like it is a out of the box personalizations is there, and you can implement the page level targeting. So you can create a up to 8 page variants for your pages, and it will be providing you the out of the box audience segmentation, which you can utilize to implement the page variant. So when you are going with the embedded personalization, so you do not need to buy any separate license for that. So suppose if you are having a brochure website, or you are having a website which is just providing you the information website where you are sharing the information like your corporate website and those things, there you can utilize that. Or you are having the banking portal or insurance portal where you are having the logged in experience which is separate from your public facing website, right? So in those cases you can easily implement a these type of use cases. Suppose you need to show the location of a different uh, bank offices, right? So there are out of the box geolocations are present, so you can utilize that to implement a different page variants. But you need to think about that you can only create a 8 page variants, so that is the limitation. And it is based on the real time stream of data, like 30 days of data will be stored for your application. That way you, whenever the any segmentation data is coming to you, it is based on the 30 days of the data. And it is providing you the edge function for dynamic page swapping. Why it is a edge function mentioned there? So suppose if you are building a website in the XM cloud, so you are building the pages and sub-publishing the data. So your data generally present in the Sitecore experience edge, and that is a CDN. So CDN generally store the static content. So then how the personalization will be happening? So there is a middleware is there, which I will be explaining in the upcoming slide. So with the help of that, dynamic swapping of the personalization is happening. Review mode. So you can like you used to implement the personalization in the XP, so you can verify how your content will looks and what are the conditions you have applied it, so you can preview it also before publishing it, and you will be getting a out of the box site analytics as well as the page analytics, so you can measure is that how the your website, suppose you are having a multi-site management, so you can verify that how your each website or each brand website is performing, and within that how many how is your pages are performing, right? So those things are coming out of the box, but it is not allow you to grab the data and build up your own Power BI or custom reporting. That is not possible with this. So now moving to the key features of the embedded personalization. So one is that the page-based personalization. So as I was explaining, you can create a 8-page variant, and within each variant you can add a 5 conditional conditions to that. Component level personalization, you can do that, but it is not same as how you used to do in the XP. Why? Because there you can apply a different condition on a component level, but here you can apply the personalization, but it will follow the same condition of your page. So I will be showing these things which you need to be consider while you are going with embedded personalization. Audience segmentation, out of the box segmentations are there. For example, if you need to implement a personalization based on the user have previously visited website within 10 days, right? So that is a one sort of a segmentation or a subset of your audiences which you can utilize to implement that. So suppose if users are old user, then also you can implement personalization based on this out of the box personalization segmentation and real time analytics. So you can check the performance of your pages itself, so that you can identify how your different page variants are performing. Suppose you have tried to create a number of conditions uh, on your pages, and you need to verify which page is working good, right? How many users are coming and spending time. So in those cases, in this real-time analytics are very useful, and it is easy to use because it is not complex as compared to the uh, XP, because there are the different options are there which you need to select it. So and generally people who are more worked on the XP, those people or the content author able to use that. But here it's a easy and you can easily implement that. Now moving to the some technical. So in this session, I have covered the there are some business users information also as well as technical, so that I can make more interactive this session. So the embedded personalization is nothing but it's a subset of a Sitecore CDP and Sitecore personalize, right? Because Sitecore CDP, here the Sitecore CDP, as you are aware that it's a data lake generally, and it will capture the footprints of the user where whatever you are doing, all your analytics data where you have clicked, right? Those things will be coming to the Sitecore CDP. How used to you have in the XDB, right? You are using the XConnect to track the user. You have clicked here and there. So those things you can push to the Sitecore CDP. But here you are using the embedded personalization. So automatically whatever like a page level tracking and the site tracking will be going into the CDP. And Sitecore personalize, because it is good providing you the platform to customize or personalize your website based on the data which is present in the Sitecore CDP. But here you are not getting all the rules which you can get it when you are buying the full-fledged Sitecore CDP and the Sitecore personalized subscription, but it is giving you the less number of conditions. So that's why you can think of Sitecore XM Cloud embedded personalization as a subset of Sitecore CDP and Sitecore personalized. So now I will be explaining how the personalization is working when you are hitting the website, right? So I am trying to explain the flow. So before that, I will be I was explaining about what is XM Cloud, right? So with this diagram, if you are seeing here, this CMS is there, CM role is there, and user is content author is accessing the Sitecore CMS pages, admin pages. And if you are publishing anything, right? So all the data will, your content items, layout, snapshot, media items are being pushed to the experience edge, right? This is also a SaaS offering from the Sitecore. So if you are on XP or XM, right, in on-prem, and you wanted to go with the headless, and you don't want to maintain your content delivery from your CD boxes, you can buy the subscription for the experience edge also, and you can implement the headless. And this will be having your snapshot and also the media item. And there will be editing host will be coming. This editing host will help you to open the pages in the pages editor as well as in the experience editor. And this will be provisioned by the Sitecore by themselves. You do not need to do anything. And on top, this is also a rendering host, and this is editing host. Why it's rendering and editing host? Because editing host, we are telling that because it is used to edit the content in your CMS, and rendering host because it is rendering your application for the end user use. So that's why we are calling it rendering host. Otherwise, both are rendering host or a web app. But you cannot use your editing host, which is provisioned by Sitecore for a end user. So you can't do that. And in this rendering host, if you are seeing that I have explained, depicted about a middleware. So middleware is the way if you need to change the something in between which is reaching to the user. So you will use the middleware to do the URL rewriting, or you need to do some multi-site management, or you have doing some URL rewriting, or you need to manipulate some content before sending to the end user. So you will generally create the middleware. So Sitecore is providing the personalization middleware. So this middleware is doing the magic which will convert your static data into dynamic data based on the conditions which you have applied on the page variant. So what is happening that so whenever user is hitting the page, right? So, so what happened that the website will be you are navigating the website, right? And browser send the HTTP request to your to the Next.js application, right? So which include the cookies and all the HTTP headers which you have applied it. So browser request will be happening. The Next.js application, right, will register all the middleware, right? And it include the personalization middleware also. So when the page request is coming, the personalization middleware, if you are going with the SSR, so like generally people will deploy their web Next.js website in SSR way or SSG way, like static site generation and server side rendering. So in static site generation, your all page snapshot will be generated during the build and it will be dumped to the experience edge. But in SSR, where you are having a more dynamic content, then it when the request will be sending at that time, it will look into the experience edge and create the page. So when you are going with the SSR, then the personalization middleware send a request to the experience edge and it will request for all the page variants which you have having for your page. For example, you are having a home page, and in home page you have applied a one region specific personalization route, and one you have applied for a returning user. So all two variant will be returned from here. And then this personalization middleware will make a call to the CDP and personalize. There will be single endpoints are there to get the current user uh, segmentation, right? So here there is no logged in experiences. There all are the anonymous user. So how this is happening? So it will send the HTTP cookie because your HTTP cookies set at a your browser. So those headers will be sent to CDP and it will identify a anonymous user, and on the basis of your previous data, whichever it is being stored at a CDP, and it will return the segmentation for you. Like suppose if you are implemented a region, then it will return that the region of a user is this one. And if you have returning user within a 10 days or 20 days. So that segmentation also will be coming to the this personalization middleware. And then personalization middleware will match a condition one by one for a all page variants, because one page variant is having a region uh, condition, and it will check the region. If it is region condition is matching, then it will return that page variants to the end user. Otherwise, it will move to the next page variants to verify the condition. So that flow will be followed by the personalization middleware to return you the personalization data. So you are this is happening behind the scenes, so you are not able to think of how fast this is happening. There will be less delay will be there, but some delay will be there. And suppose if you are using the Vercel, or you have implemented extensive logging, then when you will logging to the Vercel, so you can clearly see this flow which I am explaining. Like first it is making a call to the experience edge, and then the segmentation. So those you can easily identify. So how it is different from a this flow is different for SSG, because in SSG your variance is already created during build time and it is available to your Next.js, right? So then the call to make to get a page variant will be not going to the experience edge. That is the only difference between a SSG and SSR page flow, which I was explaining. Any question into this flow? Thank you. So let me move forward. So now I will be covering the feature comparison with the experience platform. Why? Because if you are trying to migrate from the XP to headless implementation, then how you can select a product, right? And how you can identify that it is good fit, XM Cloud Embedded Personalization is good fit for you or not. So here I try to explain about embedded XP and 3DP personalized. So data source, like it's a session bed, like a real-time data is there, or you can say that the current session data will be utilized only up to 30 days. So XP is using the XDB, so you can store a large amount of analytics data there, and CDP is a data lake, so you can store data from a different location itself. Like a you are having your stores also, offline stores also, so you can push the data from CRM to there also, like the same way you can do in the XPXM also. AI/ML support will be not included, but it is present in the CDP personalization. Scalability, it's a SaaS, so you do not need to do anything in terms of handling the performance. XP is limited by infrastructure based on your CD boxes info and the database and the nearest region where you have deployed the boxes. So based on that, you need to implement the scalability. Integration is there because you can integrate or extend with the CDP and personalization also after buying the licenses. XP is limited because you cannot do any other integration in this. If you are using the XP, then you are generally will not go and buy the another third party product for a personalization, but some people will use the Salesforce also and ingest the data. It's depending upon how you have implemented the data lake in the backend. And real time embedded is also real time support is there. XP also you can implement the real time, and CDP personalization also. Data retention is 30 days for embedded, and XP and CDP is a long term, and based on your requirement you can retain the data. User experience support is simple, but XP, as I was explaining, you should be well versed in using how to use the experience editor and how to apply the personalization condition into that, because there you need to write the condition based on the selection which is coming in the drop down if you have used it. And CDP personalization also is complex because you will be creating your own personalization experience. Like if you are implementing the interactive, so business user cannot go and implement the interactive experience. Some developer needs to go and implement it. So that's why it's a complex. So this is an engagement chart, and this is provided by the Sitecore. So it's very useful. So suppose chart is there. Why it's useful? Why? Because if you are going to analyze the project which is good for you or not, So in that case, you can always visit this chart, and let me ping you the link also. So you can always go and visit this chart and identify that which product or which combination of product is best suited for your use cases. So one thing you need to remember that when you are going for a CDP and personalize, so you need to buy a separate license for that. It is not coming out of the box with the licensing of XM Cloud. But when you are going with XM Cloud, you can just implement a simple use cases, which is uh, generally useful for a public facing website, but you cannot do any customization there, that you need to be aware. So now coming to the session based versus historical database. So same way like I was explaining about a XPXM. So this is a another way of explaining how the a session based and historical database personalization are different. Like session based is a single session, like the current session based personalization is there, and historical data like a CDP and personalization, it's a long term customer data can be ingested. So let me give you the example. For example, you are working for a client which is having a offline businesses also, e-commerce website also, and they are into the hotel industry also. So and but they are having their own data lake. Suppose they are having data lake in the CDP. So one customer is going to your offline store and it's buying a some food items, and also it's buying a some cloth or accessories related to the hill stations, right? Now, if the same user is going to your uh, miss travel booking website and it's booking a destination which is having a hill station and also buying some hill station tickets or booking a hotels, right? And those are being pushed to your CRM system. So you can use that data and push the user data into your CDP, right? And CDP will make a 360-degree user profile. Now that user is coming to your e-commerce website, which suppose you have built up using the CDP and plus like if you have used Order Cloud and those things, or you are having a simple XM Cloud site also. So and you are having a logged in experience. So now once user is logged in and you already knowing that this user already booked the hotel there and user is already uh, bought a these many items in your offline store, right? So that way you are having the custom segmentation for the user in your hand, right? And on the basis of that, you can throw the content which is useful for you. For example, what are the precautions you need to take, or some interactive things like a form or anything you need to build up, right? So those three things you can build up. So that is the very good use case when you wanted to utilize a large number of user personas, which is a having all the attributes. In those cases, CDP and personalization is very useful. And here data retention is 30 days, and here you can store the data for a longer duration. That is also different. And ideal for immediate dynamic and adjustment to user experience, like a quick and real-time customer experience, as I was explaining, based on geolocation, UTM parameters. So for the immediate need, this session-based personalization is very useful. But for a complex use cases, which I was explaining, right, so where you are looking for a deep insight of a user analytics data, in those cases, you need to always go with the Sitecore CDP and personalization. When and why to use XM Cloud embedded personalization? So as I was explaining in previous slides, so where you are looking for a real-time personalization and improve engagement, you have to implement it, right? And ease of use. So in those cases, you can go with the embedded personalization. And when to use like a real-time data, quick deployment. Deployment is quick. Why? Because you are not going to deploy your code build how you used to do in the XP if you are writing any custom things, right? You need to do the deployment, but here you just need to publish the content to the experience edge. That's it. So that's why it's a quick deployment and page level personalization. If you need to implement it like a simple use cases, then only you can go with the personalization. So why I am sharing this data, because it will helpful for you when you are deciding to move to your headless journey, or you are into the discussion of selecting the product. So these things will be very helpful for you. When to consider CDP and personalization, where you are need to implement the complex use cases and you want a data intention for a longer period, or maybe you are having the complex use cases which cannot be fulfilled with the out of the box personalization rules, right? In those cases, you need to go with the CDP and personalization, and where you need to implement the omni-channel experience, because in CDP embedded personalization, you cannot write a code to track a user event, right? So in those cases, you need to buy a license for the CDP and personalization uh, license. You need to buy it. It means if you want to track a user journey for a button click, or how many times user ever downloaded or played a video, those things, if it is there and you wanted to make a segmentation, then you need to go with the CDP and personalization. Use cases, as I explained many times: page level personalization, geolocation personalization, audience segmentation if you wanted to utilize this out of the box, and personalization based promotion, you have to do that. So these are the high level use cases which generally present in the brochure website or a microsite. So in those cases, you can go with the embedded personalization. So let me uh, show you the some demo for this. So let me ping you first the URL. So I have implemented some use cases here. If you will open this website, so when you will open the website, right? So in a pages editor, so you will be getting a this view. Sometime it will not load, so we generally need to refresh it. Okay, sorry. So here, if you are seeing it, the default content is like this, right? So once you will load this page, right, and go to the home page, so the default is this one, right? But if you will refresh it, right, what happened? So if you have accessed the page, so you will see that you will be getting a different message here, right? So this is the one rule which is coming as a out of the box, like a region specific. So I have tried to implement that. So if you are accessing it, so you will be getting a different messages there, or you will be getting a default if your region is not there. So how you generally will implement that? You will open the page in the pages editor, and you are getting this personalization icon, and the pages which already having the personalization. So you will be seeing this target type of icons will be there. So if you will click on that, so by default, one default variant will be there. If nothing is matching, this default variant will be there. So you can create a variant by clicking on this, like a demo. Next. So conditions are here. So date, device, geo, point of sale, user interaction time, right? These are the uh, conditions are there. Let me show you the geo. So these are the geo out of the box conditions are there. The visitor is in country where the region is this one. So I can what so currently it's a US region or country only, and the region for the US. So these are the limitations. Suppose if you are trying to target a uh, multi-region, multi-country, and the states within that. So in those cases, you will be not getting all the condition, but in those cases, you need to go with the buy a complete license for the this personalization. The same way, if the visitor is in region, right, during the current visit. So here you are seeing the current visit, the visitor is in, is or is not, and in the current. So here you can select a specific geographic area in the world, which region, right? And same way, the country you can select it, country specific things are there. So these are the simple geo tagging based personalization. If you need to implement it, you can do that. So suppose I was showing you, right? So here you are seeing that I have implemented a one condition. I need to implement that, and for that I have created a 3-page variants, right? And I can create up to 8-page variants if I am not if I am having the XML embedded personalization using it. So that is the one of the limitations. So I can edit it. So here I have implemented that if the visitor is in the Asia, then use this. So whichever content is compatible with the personalization, so you will see this icon. So currently I have personalized this content. That's why it's a green. So wherever I haven't personalized, it will you will get the message also. Code is not personalized, right? So whichever component you need to uh, personalize this, you can do that. So you remember when you used to do in the uh, XPXM, we generally will add a 2 or 3 component, same component, right, in a order. Like if this condition is meeting, show this, right? Rest will be hidden, right? But here you can't do that. Why? Because it's a Asia specific condition, right? If that matches, you can show this variant to end user, and within that you can apply the personalization. But you can't do that if user is in the geo text, then update this, and if the same user is having a something else, then do this. It will not club the things and show to you whichever is coming as a first, right, in an order, and it will show that. So that you need to think of when you are implementing this, and that is about a geo specific conditions. So now if I will show you about a visit condition, right? So let me open the mm, same. So I'm just trying to show you what are the different type of conditions are there. So visit is there means the visitor has visited pages within the past days, right? So here you can add the count, right, and compares to this one, right? So those like if user has visited this page and the total number of page uses this much, right? So those type of conditions you can implement, and visitor has started on a page compared to this. So suppose if user have landed to a specific page, right, and you want, suppose for example you are having a some campaign are running on, right? So if user is coming from a landed to your home page or any other marketing page, and then a user is visiting a different page and you need to show some another banner or something like that, right? So you can implement that also. And suppose user the visitor has or has not visited at this page, and then you need to, and you can give the pages via comma separated. So you need to think about it's a page, it means a single page, it's a pages means you can separate by the comma. So let me show you. I have implemented in one of the page. Mm, Portfolio. So this is the visitor only. Walking back. So what I did that the visitor has visited the next evolution of commerce page, then hide the some component here, right? So that way you can implement it. So suppose page, I have to find that page. Wait a minute, portfolio. Let me see that I have implemented anything here or not. No, I haven't personalized this. So suppose if I came here, already visited, and now if I will go to a about us page, and then I try to hide the component, right? So let me, so there was a one component which is hidden there, right? So that way, with the help of your previous condition, you can implement the based on the visit also. So now coming to the user interaction, right? So suppose if I will be creating a new condition, so user interaction, you are getting a UTM type of things are also there. Like if you are running any campaign or email campaign, users are coming from your right source, medium content. So that way also you can implement it. So I have implemented that. Let me show you. So if you will go to the, it says normal services page, right? So suppose if I am coming here, so you have seen that this geolocation is was working. So by default, if you are coming to services page, it will show you the normal message, right? So now if I am using any UTM campaign, right, like email campaign, I am running it. So on the basis of that also, I can update the condition. So let me that also. So like UTM campaign is equal to sales, and also you can implement that if something is user is coming from some website also, right? So that way also you can visitor is coming from that something some other pages, so you can also implement that. And in coming to the device, right? So if I will go to the contact page, so here I try to implement the device. So for example, if you are wanted to display a different experience when you are having a mobile devices or user is coming from a different OS. So what I try to do that if user is using a Windows during the current visit, then display this text, right? And if user device is a mobile, then show this. So for example, if you are on the normal, right, Windows, so you are seeing this. But if you are on the Mac OS, then you will be seeing the difference. So now if I will open this page in the mobile, right, and now I need to refresh that. So you will say that I can easily implement the device specific personalization also. And how this is working, like a uh, when you are trying to access a condition, right, which I was explaining, right? So visitor lands on a website, right, and the personalization middleware will try to get all the audiences from the CDP and personalization, and you already having the page variant, right? So it will evaluate the condition, if whichever condition is matching, right? Condition is true. Assign the audience means whatever user is coming, assign to those and display the page personalization condition, right? If it is not, then it will again evaluate the condition. So this process is an ongoing process. Means if you are on a one page, your personalization will perform this process, and if you are going to the next page also, then it will again perform a this logic. So with this logic and the I explained in that the flow how the request is coming, the page level personalization is generally working in the this. Why? Because you have implemented a condition. So suppose you are having a and or type of condition. So those condition will be evaluated by the personalization middleware based on the target audiences which is there, right? And now coming to the analytics and insight, right? So as I was explaining, it is providing you the real-time analytics, right? So when you are on any page, right? So it is giving you this analyze this. So what it will give you? It will give you the sites. So suppose you are having the n number of sites, right? So you can analyze the performance of each page. It is not like extensive one, but generally it will give you the browser operating system, which source user are coming to your website, right? And page how the page are performing, right? What are the first pages, right? And also top pages who have accessed the user and which countries are the top countries and the time when the user have visited. So those things will be coming. So here you are seeing that I was explaining about the 30 days data, right? So why? Because it's just stored the 30 days data. So that's why you are able to access the 30 days of analytics data. And also it is providing you the out of the box page insight, right? So suppose if you are having the different page variants, right? So for example, this contact us page is having a two page variants, a three page variants, right? Default, OS and device. So by default, it will be giving you the default page variants, how it is performing like a source, browser, operating system. And if you wanted to compare with the different page variants also, you can do that. But at a time, you can compare only two page variants. You cannot compare all in one. So with the help of that, you can identify that how the page is performing, and it will be useful when you are doing the A/B testing. So these are the default analytics reportings are there. You cannot build up a extensive reporting with this. Okay. So data privacy, now coming to the
Hey, Amit,
yes, yes,
time check. We have
yeah, yeah,
only 5 more minutes.
yes, yeah. Just so key aspect is that compliance is there. So it supports GDPR and the CCPA, because when you are going with the analytics data, so you need to be aware about what type of compliance is coming. Data security like AES 256 encryption is there, and TLS 1.2 in transit is there. Retention policy, as I explained, that 30 days retention policy is there, but for CDP, it's a unlimited limitation, which I covered many times, like a page level personalization, limited variance condition, no API access, and no AIML. So these are the major limitations are there, which you need to verify when you are moving to the XM Cloud and trying to use the XM Cloud embedded personalization. So these are the references which will be helpful for you. So I can share the slides with the Himadri, and then we can he can share with you. And any questions for me?
Let's open it for audience. So, Amit, about the component level personalization.
Hmm.
So, page variant is like,
Single condition.
yes. Okay, so within the page variant, you can actually add condition to manipulate the components.
No, no, no. So it is different. That why I was explaining. So if you need to implement a multiple condition, right, for a your single page, how you used to do in the XPXM, right? Then
Mm,
you need to go with the uh, personalize, where you
right.
can target a individual component with the help of a interactive this, where you can replace a complete HTML of this, and you can also get the data from XM Cloud, or you can hard code there also. So you need to
Okay.
write it there.
So, but which is like in a personalized means that you will be using decision table
Yes, those things.
uh, to do that.
Hmm.
Um, all those condition, if you actually subscribe personalize in CDP, those
Hmm.
condition doesn't show up in the
No, it will
uh,
show. So
yeah.
suppose if you have created a custom, currently I was showing you the default rules, right? But if you have having a custom condition also which you have created in the personalize, that you can push it and it will show you to the embedded personalization how you are seeing the different condition, right? Same
Oh,
way you can have your condition there also.
okay, okay, okay.
So,
One thing that I actually, and this can be a longer discussion, but
mm,
basically, if you are doing the SSG,
mm,
um, then if you are doing the personalization used component level personalization using personalize,
mm.
you are basically fetching the data after you load the page.
Yes, yes,
And
yes.
you are, so what I noticed is that your page loads, then actually you see that component data
And
is empty.
then it change in behind, right? So generally what people will be doing is, and we got information from the support team is that, so when you are having those type of condition, you can show the please wait or something type of that within the time that middleware is doing their magic, right? Or you are
Mm,
making a this call, right? API call to get the data, right? That
okay.
will be injected. Like how we used to display a please wait type of rolling thing, right? In there.
Mm,
Uh, those are the things we need to do, because you already generated the page, right? Now you are using the JavaScript, right? It's a JavaScript only, right?
mm,
You are changing the HTML object content within that, right? HTML object dot replace.
correct.
So you need to show something there as a uh,
Okay.
please wait or something.
Okay. So kind of, okay. Hint that still data is loading.
Loading, yes, yes.
Yeah. Which is understandable. Okay. All right. Great presentation. If anyone has any question for Amit.
Hey, Amit, question regarding, say, for example, uh, CDP stores quite a lot of data. So I think it will store 1 year, 2 years data. So
Yes.
we can still use embedded personalization for that.
No, no. Say embedded personalization data, it will store for if you are not having the separate license for CDP and personalization, right? So you will be only getting a 30 days of data. But if you will buy it a CDP
Mhm.
and personalization license, then you can utilize the longer duration of data. Like you will be having you can access a 1 month data or more than that also data to, to, to create a segmentation there.
Okay.
Great. Thanks, Amit. I have to drop,
Yeah, no
um,
problem.
but I don't think there is any question. But thank you so much. We have recorded it and we will be share it in the YouTube. And obviously, if anyone has any question, Amit is very active on Slack and Sitecore community. You can reach out.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you
Thanks
everyone
everyone
for
for
joining.
joining. Yeah,
Thank you
thank
everyone.
you.
Thank you, Madhuri Maulik.
Bye.